Welcome back to Weather Command Weekend.
Yeah, it's great to have you with us on an Easter Sunday. The Artemis II is 1 day away from its closest approach to the moon. And yesterday, NASA announced that the mission has passed the 2/3 mark for astronauts. Now, officially closer to the moon than our home. Take a listen to this.
We have just crossed the 2/3 mark on the way to the moon. Now 187,633 miles away from our home planet of Earth, 93,890 miles away from the moon.
The crew will be farther than any human has ever been away from the Earth tomorrow, more than 250,000 miles away. It's a record that was set by Apollo 13 in 1970. To be exact, the Artemis crew will reach a maximum distance of 252,757 miles away.
Unbelievable stuff, and who better to break down this historic day of this mission other than former NASA chief scientist Jim Green. Jim, our eyes across the world will be glued to their screens to watch this. What can viewers expect to see?
Well, I have to tell you, I have been just absolutely blown away by that last image you showed. It has the Earth, and the sun is on the other side. You can see the atmosphere in the lower right-hand corner lit up. And in fact, if you look real close, Venus is also observable as a little dot just to that lower right. The light on the Earth is coming from the full moon. This is just a spectacular view. And I'm sure we're going to see more and more of those on our way to the moon and back.
Yeah, some iconic images that we're going to be getting from this. And Jim, NASA says Artemis II will reach the lunar sphere of influence today. So what does that mean exactly for the crew, and how are they preparing for this?
Well, today is, I would say, is a little down day. They can rest a little because although they still have a lot of work to do and get ready for the big day, which is going around the moon starting tomorrow. But today, as they approach the moon's gravity is going to take over, and it's going to pull them in. Any trajectory corrections are going to be made today. And of course, as they look out, they'll see a ever increasing larger and larger moon. So it'll be pretty spectacular.
You know, spectacular is such a great way to word just this entire mission itself. And one other thing that's spectacular is going to be the distance that they travel from the Earth. In fact, Jim, as you know, this will be the farthest that mankind has ever traveled from Earth. That happens tomorrow. What's that mean to you? And of course, what's that mean for NASA?
Well, the current plans, of course, are for more missions like this to go to the moon and stay. Live and work on the moon is a long-term objective, and then on to Mars. And so that means we really have to understand how that environment, in other words, the space weather, affects humans. And so this is really exciting because we have modern instruments now that make measurements of that environment. We now know some of the things about space that affect the human body and the physiology. And so those measurements will be made, and that will inform us how well we'll be able to adapt to this new environment.
Let me ask you this. Experiments around technology and biology are being conducted on the ship. What are we hoping to learn from some of these experiments? And is it all sort of gearing towards the potential colonization of the moon?
Well, I think we don't look at it as colonizing so much as living and working and providing an idea of what it's like to live on another planetary surface. But the kind of science that's going to be done is really exciting, particularly in the area of how the environment affects the human body. So the biological science is really going to kick in this time.
Yeah, so let's talk more about that, about some of the preparations that they've been doing, any exercises that they're doing to prepare for an eventual return to the moon or even an eventual mission to Mars, because that sounds really interesting.
Well, we do know that exercise is incredibly important, particularly if you're in space for long periods of time. That's why space station astronauts run on treadmills and do resistive training. But I think they are so busy and getting ready to make this fantastic, circle around the moon and then come back that exercise is probably not top on their list to do.
Yeah, I was listening, I think, to one of the NASA administrators talking about how they were doing exercises that prepare to eventually get to Mars. So I thought, oh, that's fascinating to stay on top of that. What is most exciting to you, or what will you be paying closely attention to over the next few days?
Well, I'm quite interested in the kind of views that they'll have. The new views that they'll see are like Oriental Basin. Now, this is on the lunar far side. It was always in the dark when the Apollo astronauts went by. So they'll have an opportunity to see something on the moon that humans have never seen with their eyes before. Now, of course, what happens is that means they'll have a view of it, they'll get an impression, they'll start thinking, they'll use their brain as the computer. We'll hear from them about the spectacular view, maybe even get a little insight in terms of what looks brighter than one side versus another, or any variations like that. That's pretty tremendous. They'll also see a solar eclipse from a really unique vantage point, as the moon begins then to cover the sun. And of course, we hope that they'll be able to capture, as they come around the moon, the Earth view as it rises above the horizon of the moon. We call that Earthrise. So I'm really looking forward to those kind of events.
Oh my gosh, an Earthrise would be spectacular to see. Jim, let me ask you this real quick too, because I think to myself, you've spent so many years studying this, right? What do you think the next mission after this one looks like? So, everything is successful, God willing, tomorrow, and then as we head toward the end of the week, what's the next mission look like?
Well, like Apollo, Artemis II is going to really be all about how to manipulate the lander, and that's going to be practiced in orbit around the Earth. And then Apollo 4, once they perfect that, and Apollo 4 will take that lander and its crew to the moon and go down to the surface, walk on it, put out experiments, grab important samples and bring those back. We've never gone to the South Pole before. We've always been in or near the equatorial zone for humans. And so these samples are going to be incredibly important for us scientifically.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this. This is so exciting. Oh my goodness. Jim Green, thank you so much for your time this Easter Sunday morning. We so appreciate your insight and look forward to connecting with you again here soon.
Thanks very much, Michael, Nick, and Melanie.
I don't know about you guys. I have a hard enough time exercising on planet Earth.
Let alone in space. Tomorrow is the big day. The 4 astronauts of the Artemis II mission will break the record set by Apollo 13 in 1970, as they'll be the farthest from Earth of any humans in history, reaching a maximum distance, as I mentioned, of more than 250,000 miles. We'll continue to have live coverage all day long. Stay with us. Weather Command Weekend, and we'll be right back.